would you please rise in body or spirit as you are able as we sing our gathering hymn, number 318, We Would Be One. We would be one as now we join in singing our hymn of love to pledge ourselves anew to that high cause of greater understanding of who we are and what is true. We would be one in living for each other to show to all a new community. We would be one in building for tomorrow a nobler world than we have known today. We would be one in searching for that meaning which binds our hearts and points us on our way. We will pledge ourselves to great service with love and justice to make us free.
Welcome, a warm welcome to all of you for being here on this Sunday at the Unitarian Universalist Congregation of Salem. And welcome to our online viewers. Let's connect to them with an enthusiastic wave at that camera. Hello out there, welcome in. Take a moment to look around you at who else is here. You may be a first-time visitor, a regular, or maybe you've returned after a long time away. We were all newcomers at some point. Remember what it felt like to be a newcomer. How important a welcome is. Take a moment to greet your neighbor. Hello, hello, hello. I just wanted to text you. After the service, please stay for fellowship over coffee and treats in Hanneman Hall, which is just to the left of the foyer. This is a time to get to know each other a little bit better, maybe get to know a newcomer. This Sunday is devoted to the efforts of our Microfinance team. We are pleased to welcome Ron Hockley back. Ron and his wife, Suzanne, have 2 sons and are avid hikers, backpackers, trail runners, virtually lovers of all the outdoors. Ron is the executive director of the NEO Fund, which is the Microfinance team's partner that administers our donations for microloans. This morning, you will be hearing compelling stories of the people who have used these microloans to turn their dreams and hard work into reality. Let us center ourselves by speaking our affirmation. Love is our doctrine. Compassion is our way. Here we seek to create a joyful home for free religious exploration, build a community of caring fellowship, nurture the hopes, and serve the needs of our world.
Flows and flows of angel hair, and ice cream castles in the air, and feather canyons everywhere. Looked at clouds that way, but now they only block the sun. They rain and snow on everyone. So many things I would have done, but clouds got in my way. I've looked at clouds from both sides now, from up and down, and still somehow it's cloud illusions I recall. I really don't know clouds at all. Moons and Junes and Ferris wheels, dizzy dancing that you feel as every fairy tale comes true. I've looked at love that way, but now it's just another show, and you leave them laughing when you go. And if you care, don't let them show. Don't give yourself away. I've looked at love from both sides now, from give and take, and still somehow it's love illusions I recall. I really don't know love at all. Sing along with me if you like. Tears and fears and feeling proud to say I love you right out loud. Dreams and schemes and circus clouds, I've looked at life that way. Oh, and now all things acting strange. They shake their heads, tell me that I've changed. Well, something's lost, but something's gained in living every day. I looked at life from both sides now, win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know. Let's do that again. I've looked at life from both sides now, from win and lose, and still somehow it's life's illusions I recall. I really don't know.
Fix that for the short person. Okay. Hi, welcome everyone. It's so good to see everybody here. This is a very exciting week. I'm sure we're all a little tense, may start feeling a little low, maybe tomorrow worried. I want everybody to remember that you are who you are because of your beliefs. And remember to keep your light bright and shining. You never know just how many people you may be a lighthouse for. You never know just how many people find their way home, even in the wildest storms, because you are there. In our tradition, we light 3 chalices. The first is for our Unitarian Universalist congregation here in Salem. The second is for our church in Šimenvalva, Transylvania, Romania. And the third is for our children and youth, the future, here and around the world. Let's sing our flame into light.
Good morning. Can everybody young or young at heart please join me up front? Good morning. Hi there. Hi. Hello. Okay. Well, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a little project that the LRE kids did last year. I'm excited to share some special news about our friends in Nicaragua. Last year, our children created beautiful art, wrote letters, and filled out questionnaires all about themselves to share with the children and the families supported by UUCS's Microfinance project. Along with these creations, we sent some supplies, some stamped envelopes, and paper so they could write us back. Just recently, we received some wonderful photos from Nicaragua, right up here, showing our new friends holding up our letters and drawings. And they even sent us some pictures of the children there working on their own projects for us. Seeing these smiles and knowing that we were able to make a small difference is truly heartwarming. It reminds us of the connection we share with people all around the world, even those who live far away. Today, we're also announcing that we'll be raising money to help buy more supplies for these kids. If you feel inspired to contribute, you can drop off donations at my office or email me for more information. Every little bit will go a long way in supporting our friends in Nicaragua. I wanted to say thank you for being a part of this project to all of you kids and for showing such kindness and generosity. Together, we're helping build a world where everyone feels seen, valued, and connected. Okay, thank you. And we have some special announcements today. So here's Miss Annie with some birthdays.
Hi, you guys. It's the first Sunday of November. You know what that means? I've got some birthday cards up here. Is Parker here? Amelia. Molly. Darn it, I thought I'd get that. Darn it. Jack. Rowan. I've got lots of birthday cards. Milo. Anyone else's birthday? When is your birthday?
Today, right today.
Today? I have some blank ones. And so what I will tell everyone is that I get these from that program called Breeze that you guys all register on. And so if you don't put your kids' names on there, then I don't know if they have a birthday. So, when's your birthday? October 5th. You got one last month, didn't you? Awesome. Okay. Does she? Awesome. Very cool. Okay. Well, and I'm really glad you guys are here. Is it your birthday this month? So, oh my goodness. There you go. Happy birthday. I'm so excited you guys are here. And remember to come when it's your birthday month and I'll get you a card. Okay.
Okay, one more announcement. Family Promise Week is coming up, this 10th and the 17th. We will not be having LRE on the 10th, but we will be having it on the 17th. And then the 24th is Thanksgiving communion, and so we will not have LRE that weekend, but we will be all together for that service. That will be wonderful. Okay, if you can stand up in the middle and create the love arch, we'll be on our way. Thank you.
From Carol Doolittle, a founding member of the Microfinance team, and on behalf of the Microfinance team, this candle of concern and remembrance is for Sombatz Sompon, an internationally acclaimed community development worker, prominent member of Lao Civil Society, and founding director of our microfinance partner organization in Laos. Sombat was abducted at a police checkpoint in 2012 and has not been seen since. Let there be compassion in our hearts for all those whose lives still feel the loss of this giving individual. Let us also express gratitude for the inspiring work he did and that continues to this day.
Good morning, friends. I'm Ariane Kirkpatrick, and I'm one of the new Lifeline's lay ministers, and I am the representative today. We have two joys to share. One that came online from Dave and Ann Hannes. We are overjoyed to welcome our new granddaughter, Ember Elizabeth Rose, who was born to our daughter, Ailey, on 9/26, September 26th. So a candle for Ann and Dave and their granddaughter, Ember. Thank you. And we have one joy that was written in the book today by Margaret Gregg. I am so happy to share the wonderful news that Carol Grodman has found a new small apartment to move into in the next couple of weeks. She could use help moving if anyone has a truck available. Thank you. And I would like to let you know that we have a special friend here today. Ricky is here to welcome your pats, your pets, and your hugs as a pet therapy animal. And thank you, Eric, for sharing him with us. We also have a kitty cat here today. And I think that the cat is with George. There she is. He, she. Yeah. So she'll be welcoming any pets and pats and hugs that you might want to share today. And as we do each and every Sunday, we light one more candle for those joys and sorrows that remain unspoken in the heart, remembered and kept close. Lifeline lay ministers are fellow members who extend our shared ministry to our friends and the members of this congregation, those who are experiencing loss, illness, or any time of personal or family crisis, or anyone who needs support in celebrating great moments of happiness and joy. You can reach out to us by visiting the Lifeline's table in Hanneman Hall each Sunday after service. Our lavender stoles and some folks have badges that are in lavender that say Lifeline's lay minister under their name. You can also connect with us at the email address that's on the screen. You can post your joys and sorrows in the book in the foyer before service each Sunday. You can also post them online. There's a link under the title of the next Sunday service. And next Sunday, we will be forming our compassionate connection. If you'd like some emotional support from your Lifeline's lay ministers, come to the front of the sanctuary right after the service, and then we'll head to a private space to offer support for whatever it is that you would like to have a little extra help with. Thank you.
May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be filled with loving kindness. May I be well. May I be peaceful and at ease. May I be whole. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be filled with loving kindness. May you be well. May you be peaceful and at ease. May you be whole. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be filled. May we be filled with loving kindness. May we be well. May we be peaceful and at ease. May we be whole.
This is a week when many of us, myself included, are on edge because of the upcoming elections. It's a time when it's difficult to think of much else, especially when we're bombarded by ads and rhetoric and fear. So what can we do as Unitarians? First of all, we can vote this week and make our collective voices heard. It's so important that we all vote and honor those who fought hard to secure our rights. Abigail Scott Duniway, Oregon's mother of women's suffrage, said, "The young women of today, free to study, to speak, to write, to choose their occupation, should remember that every inch of this freedom was bought for them at a great price. It is for them to show their gratitude by helping onward the reforms of our own times, by spreading the light of freedom and of truth still wider. The debt that each generation owes to the past, it must pay to the future." She wrote this in 1912, after Oregon approved women's suffrage after the 6th time of trying on the ballot box. 6 times. Second, we can make the world a better place by helping others. One way to do this is through the UUCS Microfinance project. Our project focuses on countries with desperately poor people, especially women, who have few options and face crushing poverty, violence, and repressive regimes. Our UUCS Microfinance project began 16 years ago in 2008. It's hard to believe it's been going on for that many years. When Reverend Rick Davis challenged our congregation to action to address global poverty. The Microfinance project is based on the Unitarian Universalist principles that we covenant to affirm and promote justice, equity, and compassion in human relations, and having a world community with peace, liberty, and justice for all. The basic idea behind microfinance is to make small loans, usually less than $500 per loan, to people living on the edge, so they can increase their earning power, escape poverty, and provide a better living for their families. Often, poor people are not able to borrow money to buy equipment and items or materials necessary for their businesses, and banks are scarce in rural areas. When the loans are repaid, the payments go into a revolving fund to provide capital to keep lending again and again to others, thus significantly multiplying the impacts of our donations, not only now but in future years. The NEO Fund has estimated that for every dollar that we've given, it has turned over 7 times as many loans that are made, repaid, and loaned again. Our UUCS microfinance project helps people that cannot, or that banks cannot or will not help, and it has transformed the lives of women and their families by providing them the means for a sustainable living and a lasting income so they can improve their families' housing, health, and education. Our projects have also given us the ability to connect with other people in countries around the world, and you saw that just earlier today with what our children have done and are, in fact, leading the way that way, and gain a greater awareness of the challenges that people struggling with poverty face. I'm very proud to report that over the past 16 years, our congregation has risen to the challenge and has sent a total of $83,000 to our partner organizations in countries around the world. Over these years, we've helped women and families in Laos, Peru, Kenya, Nicaragua, and India, and also now in Guatemala. Last year, we sent $6,100 to the NEO Fund to administer the microfinance projects in Nicaragua and Guatemala as a result of your donations and money that was raised from selling beautiful quilts made by Lorna Youngs and jewelry made by Eleni Smith. We're grateful for the donation of the beautiful wood carvings this year that will be made by Brian Beal that we are selling today and next Sunday. We're also selling Eleni's beautiful necklaces and pins. And overall, the Microfinance Committee is very grateful for the strong support from our congregation over the years.
Good morning. It's great to see you. Very, very nice to be back. I just looked on my phone to see, because I remember taking a picture when I first met Carol and then Ann, and we started our partnership. And it was, the picture I found was from 2016, so about 8 years of partnership we've had. So how did this start? There's a picture, just a couple images ahead. Yeah, one more ahead. And for me, this was where it started. If you could just go, well, yes. So this is a picture of the Managua City Dump on my first time I ever went there in 2006. There's 3 kids in the picture. I don't know if you can see them, but dead center in the middle, there's a little boy in a purple shirt. His name is Martin. His little sister is just off to the side in red. And then there's a tiny naked baby on the other side, so 3 kids. And then there's one other person, if you look carefully, sort of up on the mountain of trash behind them. That's a rag picker. That's what people do, and the reason that they live in the dump. And when my friends and I first found this place, it was so terrible, it kind of wrecked us. Because Martin didn't go to school, didn't eat a healthy diet, couldn't have medicine if he got sick, and his job was to pick through the trash. And that's just not right. It's just not how kids should grow up. And so we thought, what in the world can we do? And we tried so many things. We tried child feeding, so food for kids. We tried shoes for kids because, he was walking around the garbage with flip-flops or barefoot. We tried, counseling for parents. We tried having a nurse set up sort of a portable health clinic and a daycare. After trying all these different things over a few years, we same as you, we started experimenting with microloans, tiny loans, sometimes a $50 loan to a woman in that setting, just like that, so that she could start an income-generating business. Maybe she'd become a tortilla maker, or she would buy like a case of Pringles and sell them like 3 Pringles for a penny. You know what I mean? This kind of a business to make some money. And as we were doing our R&D, sort of experimenting with that idea, you were already doing it. So you had the same vision even before we did. And I remember I met Carol, and that's how our relationship started. So around the time we met, we were just getting started. We'd had years of losses because we didn't know what we were doing. And, we had this learning curve and trying to get it right. And about the time we went, we were starting to figure it out. And then you invested in the partnership. And so around that time, when we were in the dump, our whole loan portfolio, sort of the amount of money we had in our revolving fund to loan out, was probably between $5,000 and $10,000, so not very much. And because of you, over these 8 years, it's now more than $100,000. And we have made, before the end of the year, over the next 7 weeks, we're going to pass our 4,000th loan and have loaned out $1 million. We don't have $1 million. It's just that this money keeps cycling, and then the money goes out and comes back, and goes out and comes back. And over time, that's the total, of all the loans. So, it's a modest investment that has had great impact. And you made that possible. As our partner, you provided the wherewithal to do it. And we're really grateful for that. The next slide shows one of our guys, Jason. Jason is a great kid. He broke his arm a few months ago on the job. He has a motorcycle he uses for his work. It's all dirt roads and mud and gravel. And a dog ran out in front of him, and he fell off his bike, broke his arm. And he was back to work like the next day, in his sling. Anyway, this is what I think I can read it. I think I can do it. This is what he said. And this is why, it matters, why we feel like it's so valuable and so important. And I'm so proud of this partnership and what we are accomplishing. This is what Jason said, because we interviewed all our staff and said, is NeoFund doing it, and UUCS, are we doing something good? You know what I mean? You're on the ground. This is your job every day. How's it going? And this is what he said. The most rewarding thing for me is seeing how small loans can transform lives. People always ask me, why would you want to start a bank? There's a million banks already. No, we don't want to start a bank. We want to see lives transformed. That's the purpose. Small loans can transform lives. It's amazing to see how a person with the right support can achieve their dreams, whether it's starting a business, improving their home, or educating their children. Every success story reminds me why this job is so important and inspires me to continue helping more people. It is gratifying to be part of an organization that has such a positive and tangible impact on people's lives. And I want to tell you today, it is inspiring to be part of a partnership that has such a positive and tangible impact in people's lives. Today I want to tell you about 3 of those people. First, Vilma. Each of these is from a different country. So our brand new startup in Guatemala, it's only been going now about 6 months. And Vilma was one of our first borrowers. So there she is. She is a single mom. She has 2 kids, aged 2 and 5. When her family, she lost her husband, she had no way to pay the bills, or to support her children. So she had the skill of weaving, and I don't know if you can see clearly in the picture, but this is Wilma's parents' home. It has a dirt floor, and the loom that she's using, I don't know if you can see, but it's not like store-bought. It's not like manufactured at a factory. They made it out of wood. Even like the cog, like the machinery that makes the loom work, has been carved out of wood. So she came to our brand new program. She lives in a small Mayan village that I will never be able to pronounce the name of because it's like 12 consonants in a row. But she came to us and asked for a loan of $300. Why? Because if she can buy materials like thread, and if she could hire one other person to work the loom so they can pretty much have like a 16-hour-a-day, operation, that loom just keeps going, they can break even. Not only she can feed her kids, but she can provide a job to somebody else. And with the proceeds from her business, she's going to build a small room at her parents' house where she and her kids can live. A positive and tangible impact in the lives of Wilma, her kids, her parents, and her employee. How many of that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 people with one loan. Next, Bare. Bare, and this is not a very good picture. It's very fuzzy, and that's because it's come a very long way. It was taken on a local flip phone on the central East Indian coast by the Bay of Bengal. And this is Bare, and her husband is the driver of that auto rickshaw, the yellow one. That's their whole income. If he doesn't drive the rickshaw and get fares, for taking people around the village, they don't eat. And it's they don't have savings accounts or credit cards. So if he doesn't drive the rickshaw that day, dinner that night is going to be really slim. And if he doesn't drive it the next day, then they plunge into starvation. So the auto rickshaw broke down. Big catastrophe, big problem. And Bare's husband was beside himself because he knew it would cost money to have the repairs done at a shop. Bare had some mechanical skills. She's good with her hands. She knows how motors work, and she can do things. And so she came and asked, could I please have a loan to buy whatever you call it, the parts? Because I think I can fix this auto rickshaw myself. And she did. And the next day it was back out on the street, and here's a quote. What did she say? Oh, yes. The loan availed and benefited us very much and helped us take our auto rickshaw back on wheels. Again, she has 2 kids. So here's a family of 4 that with a small loan for parts got them back having dinners again. A positive and tangible impact in the lives of people. And then one more story I want to tell you, and this is in the center, is Sylvia. She is surrounded by Cheryl on the one side, who's on our team at NEO-US, and then on the other side, 2 of our employees in Nicaragua, Ivania and Gridian. Here's Sylvia's story. She, when she learned to walk around age 1, she walked for about 6 weeks, and then she got polio and could never walk again. And I was surprised because if I had thought of a disabled woman who can't walk, who has no support mechanism and has a crummy wheelchair in one of the poorest slums in the world, I would have thought, boy, that must be a depressed lady. She must be sad all the time. Instead, Sylvia is a dynamo. She's so enthusiastic and full of life and vivacious. And I said, how is this possible? And she said, that's because when I got polio, my dad didn't treat me any different from any of the other kids. And I just figured out how to do stuff. And she said, my whole life, since childhood, I've been an entrepreneur. I figure out how to make things work. Well, this day, the day this picture was taken, Cheryl from our team had battled cancer for a couple of years. She lost all her hair just about 6 weeks before this in chemo. And while she was sick, so sick, and it was touch and go, her sister, Debbie, also got cancer and died. So this was Cheryl's first NeoFund trip after her illness. And she started a memorial fund for her sister, Debbie. She had brought cash from the new memorial fund, just started, on this trip. And Sylvia was chosen to be the first borrower from that memorial fund, from Debbie's memorial fund. She wanted to start a business selling linens like towels and something like that. She'd buy them, sell them at a profit in her neighborhood, because there's no like Home Bath and Beyond or whatever in that village, So they signed the loan agreement, and Cheryl got the cash out and started putting it into Sylvia's hand. 20, 40, they used US dollars, so we're using US dollars, 60, 80, and everybody there burst into tears. Because out of great suffering, there was a seed of hope planted, both for Cheryl and her sister, but also for Sylvia, that a new day starts now because someone trusted her, because someone believed in her, because someone was willing to invest in her. She paid off that loan. She took another to build her business more. This last April, Sylvia took her third loan from the Debbie Fund. And recently, she submitted a new business plan, like a proposal, an application. And what she wants to do next is to buy. She's asking for a $600 loan. So you can only get larger amounts if you pay off, smaller amounts. So faithful with little, faithful with much, kind of an idea. So she's hoping for her fourth loan to borrow $600 and to buy a photocopy machine and a computer, because those things, there's no like print shop in their whole town. So everybody who wants to make a photocopy or use a computer will come to her little stand in the front of her house to copy their papers or print their documents or go online or whatever they're going to do. She's a dynamo. And all of these things happened because of you. I mean, you made these positive and tangible impacts. You made them happen. And that's why we're so grateful, and we really believe in this mission. This is a collage of some of our pictures. The thing that we're most excited about these days is that we had an idea, like a theory. We didn't know for sure. But we thought, because we charge small interest, like the lowest in the whole industry in these countries, we thought someday with enough scale, maybe that interest could cover the cost of the program. We have 7 employees in Nicaragua alone, so there's some expense. And so as of now, we're at 40% covering the cost of the in-country. Which means, so our next dream is, could we find a way to raise enough money to bring it to that scale where that 40%, of sustainability reached 100%. So then the revolving fund could revolve and the program could go on even if we don't invest more money in it going forward. That's our dream. That's our hope. So thank you very much for your time. I want to thank Ann for serving on our board of directors for NEO. It's very helpful to us, and we're grateful. I want to thank you for believing in us and for your willingness to partner with NEO. I want to put out an open invitation. If you would like to go to Nicaragua, Guatemala, or India with us someday and see this working, please do. We would love for you to join. Again, thank you very much on behalf of the people in whose lives you're making a positive and tangible impact. Thank you.
We pray for the children who like to be tickled, who put their sticky fingers everywhere, who like to walk in puddles, who can never find their shoes. And we pray for children who have never had a new pair of sneakers to run down the street in, who were born in places where we would be caught dead, who never go to the circus, who live in an X-rated world. We pray for children who bring us sticky kisses and fists full of dandelions, who would like to sleep with a dog, and who insist on burying goldfish, who hug us in a hurry and forget their lunch money, who sing off-key, who squeeze toothpaste all over the sink. And we pray for those who never get dessert, who have watched their parents die, who can't find any bread to steal, who don't have any rooms to clean up, whose pictures aren't on anybody's dresser, whose monsters are real. We pray for children who hide their dirty clothes under the bed, who throw tantrums in the grocery store, who pick at their food, who like ghost stories, who love visits from the tooth fairy, who don't like to be kissed in front of the school bus. And we pray for those whose nightmares come in the daytime, who will eat anything, who've never seen a dentist, who aren't spoiled by anybody, who go to bed hungry, who cry themselves to sleep, who live and move and have no being. We pray for children who want to be carried. We pray for children who must be carried. We pray for children who will grab the hand of anyone kind enough to offer it.
Thank you, George. You two are a hard act to follow, I have to say. I'm just honored to be here. I'm Annie, and I'm here to talk about how to share and why I'm involved. This month's Share the Plate recipient is UUCS Microfinance program. There's our slide. I am inspired by President Jimmy Carter's words and work that reflect UU principles of justice, equity, and compassion. And he just celebrated his 100th birthday, and he was really thrilled to tell the world that he voted. He lived long enough to vote in this election. And here's some of his wonderful words. I have one life and one chance to make it count for something. That something, the something I've chosen, is my faith. My faith demands that I do whatever I can, for as long as I can, with whatever I have, to try to make a difference. We have worked closely with credible nonprofit organizations like the NEO Fund to ensure that our funds are targeted to those in need and have made a profound difference in the poorest of the poor. Our funds have transformed lives in Nicaraguan and Indian families, thus raising incomes in a sustainable way. For this church year, we will focus on microfinance projects with the NEO Fund in Nicaragua and Guatemala. I am very honored to be a really small part of this microfinance community. The first time I heard Ron Hockley speak about a woman who made tortilla chips to support a family using the old hood of a car for griddle, I knew that we had helped change your life for the better. You had me at tortilla chips. Every time I hear these stories about families this program has allowed to become more financially stable and empowered, I'm reminded again how proud I am to be a small part of this project. Gandhi said it best with his quote, "Whatever you do may seem insignificant, but it is most important that you do it." UUCS members also generously contribute every Sunday to the Marion Polk Food Share, and we ask your contributions for people in this community as well. You can donate directly to Microfinance online on the church's website or by check with the notation for Microfinance. This slide shows you how to contribute your pledge and donate to the Microfinance team. This slide and that slide. Please make sure that you designate that on your contribution, that your contribution is for microfinance on the website or on your check. We hope you'll also stop by our table after the service and buy a beautiful wooden plaque handmade and donated by Brian Beal, as well as exquisite and inspirational jewelry made by Eleni and pins that represent the countries where we have participated in changing lives. We'll be selling these treasures today and next Sunday, November 10th, in Hanneman Hall, right behind you. All proceeds from the sale and your donations will directly benefit our microfinance projects. Thank you all so much for your generosity, and there's a poem, this isn't part of my talk, but there's a quote that says, "If the only prayer we ever said in our whole lives was thank you, that would be enough." So thank you all.
Friends, I'd like to take this opportunity to wish Joni Mitchell a happy birthday. Joni Mitchell turns 80 this week. And the other thing I wanted to say is at the conclusion of this song, I don't want you to feel compelled to applaud so much as simply to say a prayer for peace for our nation, because I think that's the spirit with which Joni Mitchell wrote this song. Well, I came upon a child of God. He was walking along the road, and I asked him, "Tell me, where are you going?" He said, "I'm going to Damascus Farm. Gonna join a rock and roll band. Got to get back to this land, set my soul free. We are stardust, we are golden, we are billion-year-old carbon, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden." Well, then can I walk beside you? I have come to lose the smog, and I feel myself a cog in something turning. And maybe it's the time of year. Yes, maybe it's the time of man, and I don't know who I am, but life is for learning. We are stardust, we are golden, we are billion-year-old carbon, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden. By the time we got to Woodstock, we were 500,000 strong. and shotgun in the sky, burn, turn into butterflies above our nation. We are stardust, we are golden, we are caught in a devil's bargain, and we've got to get ourselves back to the garden.
Thank you, John. And happy birthday, Joni Mitchell. All right, next Sunday, Reverend Monica Jacobson Tennyson, our contract minister. That sounds like a really ugly word, but we are really happy to have her. She'll be coming every other Sunday until June, so through the end of June. And she's going to be talking about the next needed thing. It's impossible to know now what we'll be feeling in the days following the election. However, it is possible to learn from our ancestors to do the next needed thing to help our community. All right. I hope I see you all there. And then if you are not already connected to the news of this very active community, you may get the newsletter if you just reach out a little bit. You can make your request by signing the visitor's book and in the foyer at the welcome table. You can call that phone number, or you can email the office, and they will put you on the mailing list so you can learn and participate as you will with the activities that are going on here. Now is the time when we light the social justice lantern, which Annie will do. And she'll have to go back to this. As a member of the Microfinance team, she and her allies and this whole congregation have shown us how love is made real in the world. Ask yourself this week, what can I do? Okay, and now she will extinguish the chalices. Hold the memory of these flames in your imagination. Let their warmth transform into kindness as you interact with friends and strangers this week, wherever you find yourself, next to the ballot box, at the grocery store, in the office, sitting on a park bench.
And now let us rise in body or spirit as we are able to sing our closing hymn, number 168, One More Step. One more step, we will take one more step, till there is peace for us and everyone will take one more step. One more word, we will take one more word, till every word is heard by everyone. We'll take one more word. One more prayer, we will say one more prayer, till every prayer is shared by everyone. We'll say one more prayer. One more song, we will sing one more song, till every song is sung by everyone. We'll sing one more song. song.
Please remain standing, and I guess you know the ritual. If you can take somebody's hand, we will say our closing words together. May faith in the Spirit of life, hope for the community of earth, and love for the sacred and one another be ours now and in all the days to come. Yeah, I agree. That's why I like it. Very good. And maybe you.
Yes, never say never. Beautiful. Oh, I should go.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Anne.